My name's Lisa. Welcome to my home, and we're in the sewing room again. Hope everybody's having a good day. Today is January 26th, 2022, and I thought I would just do a floss tube update today, and then maybe at the end do a quilt UFO parade, or the way we call it in flosstube, quilt whip parade. Anyway, hope everybody's having a good week. I was able to get all my chores done, and then I took a little nap, and so I thought I would get on here before Larry gets home. And so let's get going. I have some gifts. I have a new start, and I have some of the things I worked on. So I did work on a bunch of things, but I don't know that I got a huge amount done on any of them, but I had a great time doing it, so that's the important thing. So on my rotation, as I loosely call it, Wednesdays are my Summer at Hollyberry Farm by Stacy Nash. That's the day I decided to try to work on that project because it has been languishing in my pile for way too long. So last Wednesday, I haven't worked on it yet today. I don't really think I did any stitching this morning. I got up and started doing some cleaning instead of stitching. But anyway, I was able to get some work done on it. I did the bricks underneath the porch, and I worked on the front door. So anyway, it's coming along good. Really, the only thing I have to do is just do the bunting on the porch railing, and then I can fill in the house. There's a little bit of house color that would be filled in. Then I have a couple little things above the fence, and I'm thinking about changing it around a little. I mean, they're cute, but it's nothing too exciting to me. And so I think I might try to look around and find some cute little dogs. I thought I could put, I don't know whether I put the 3 that I have now, or if I wanted to try to put them in little groupings and maybe do the past dogs that I've had and current dogs. I don't know. I might not put much thought into it at all and just try to get it done. We'll see. That one little bouquet of flowers at the bottom looks a lot easier than trying to chart dogs. So we'll see. But it just didn't seem like anything too exciting right there. And I thought, well, that would be an opportunity to be creative. But we'll see how creative I get. Okay, so that was last Wednesday. I think last Tuesday I worked on a Abbey Rose design Yuletide on Thistle Hill. And so I've shown it before, and I had just, let's see, I don't have my glasses on, so make sure I'm showing you the front. I was able to get all the way around. I had just done one side and half of the bottom of the border. And so then I was able to just go ahead and go up the side and across the top. And I'm off maybe like 2 stitches. I was okay horizontally. I mean, I ended up in the spot I was supposed to be, but I just was a little bit too short. So I just added a couple more stitches, and I figure it'll just be fine. But I think in order to alleviate some of the headaches, I don't think I'm going to do that little interior straight line border. I think I might just have things kind of floating. That way there's not that much pressure. I don't want to have to get to the other side and realize it's lopsided or whatever. So I think that's what I'm going to try to do. Okay, and then I also pulled out a Quaker Welcome by Leela Studios. And it was one of those nights where I just didn't want to do much thinking. And so I had done this little band on the bottom. Sorry, I've got a piece of floss just hanging out here. So I was just working on that bottom band. I was like 2/3 of the way over or something like that. And so I was coming this way. So I got to the end, and then I decided I had done, I think, through O. And so I just did some more letters. And then it was time to go to bed. It's funny, I've been getting up early and stitching and then going to work, blah, blah, blah. And then when I come home, I take my shower and eat. Then it's usually about 9 o'clock or later. Anyway, and I've been staying up probably till 11:30, 12 o'clock. And so I've been doing that quite consistently. And then there's some days where I wake up at like 3 or 4 in the morning and I think, well, I'm not really tired anymore. And so I get up and I come into the sewing room and start working on things in here. And so I was really cooking with all burners and until like, I think it was yesterday. Let's see, I worked 11 to 8. And honest to Pete, we were slow. And so there was time to just kind of lean a little bit, which is kind of rare in our kitchen. And honest to Pete, I really could have fallen asleep standing there. And so I thought, well, maybe I need a little more rest. So last night I went to bed at like, I don't know, 9:45 or something like that. And I slept in a little bit. I slept in till 7 today and thought maybe I could, and then today I took a nap. So I don't know. I guess I just do it while I can do it. And then when I have to take a nap, I just take a nap. But okay. And so I worked also on the Milk and Cream Company by Plum Street. But unfortunately, I didn't bring the cover picture in. But this is the one that everybody told me, because I'm really close to the edge and I was considering ripping out the barn. And so many people are like, leave the barn in. You can make it. If you have to sew on some fabric, you can do it. So I've decided to keep going. So I put in 2 of the little white clouds at the top, and then I put in most of the blue. So anyway, like I said, nothing huge in the process department, but I'm making progress. And it's been fun to get different things. I mean, I enjoy the fact that certain people can be monogamous. I used to be a monogamous stitcher. I would always do the same project until I was done, and then I would move on. But it seemed like those projects, when I did that, I mean, it would take me about a year, which you would think it would go quicker. But I would get bored and wouldn't want to stitch, where now I want to stitch all the time. So I don't know. I guess it's whatever makes you happy, right? Okay, so this is by the sampler company, Brenda Keys, and it's called Red House Sampler. This is the one I'm making a blue house. So the progress I had on this, I just stitched for a couple hours the other night. And so I decided to work on these little birds. Now in the chart, they are like a gold. I don't even know if you can pick it up. They're like a gold and a brown. I decided I want them to be pretty blue birds. And then I worked on this motif here. So I was able to get the stems and the leaves in. And now I just have to pick my 2 colors of blue and fill in right there. So the house seems a little daunting to me. Plus, I've been working on some pretty big houses, and the house seemed a little daunting. It's got a lot of gingerbread type like trim on it, and so it seems like if you're not in the right frame of mind, you could pretty much screw it up pretty easy. So like when I was tired, I thought, oh, I mean, if I mess up the stem or something, it's not going to throw off the whole pattern, so it'll be okay. Okay, and so then I worked on 2 other patterns, and one is called Jane Eyre, and I thought for a change I would actually show you, oh, that's not the one. I would actually show you what the picture looks like. Go figure, huh? I never printed it out, and so, okay, let me try to find it, just a second. Okay, so this is what Jane Eyre looks like. It's by the Little Stitcher. I got it off Pinterest, and it's supposed to be a freebie. So I have the alphabet done, and I just started working on the house the other day. And so this is what it looks like. So I picked my own colors. This had a lot of browns and rust colors, which weren't really speaking to me. This was a mania start. And so anyway, I started working on the little house. I took the border down towards the house, and then I started it. So I just have to do the chimney and the bird on top, so the roof won't look that weird. But anyway, that was fun. I worked on that a little bit at night, and then a little bit the next morning. And then it was time to go to work, pay the bills. And so that was that one. And then I have a new start. And this is one that came across Instagram the other day, and it's from Poutini. I hope I say that right. I don't know if you guys saw this one or not. It's real cute. It has a black L across the top of it. And let me see if I can zoom in on her Instagram name. But anyway, this is the design. It's a freebie she offered. So I started that the other day. I'm doing it on 36 count R&R vintage beeswax. And so I just picked a red and a pink and a white and a black. And anyway, it's looking kind of cute. I don't know if I'll get it done by Valentine's Day, but that's okay. If nothing else, I'm going to try to think of this year as a prep work for next year. So if I aim towards a holiday this year, that'll be wonderful. But if I aim for it and I miss it, then I'm just going to pretend that I am just gearing my way up for next year. Because like now, I mean, I have this desire to do all these cute little hearts. I've been seeing them on Instagram on all these different applications. Some of them are using like what looks like to be an old quilt and just cut heart shapes. And some are just cutting heart shapes and making little garlands. And I'm just like, oh, that looks so cute. And I have spots where I could put it because I put a little bit of stuff out in my house and put a little pink around, not necessarily screaming Valentine's Day, but not necessarily spring and bunnies yet, but I took my Christmas stuff down Sunday and I had to dust and put something back out. And so I thought, well, it is a little early for spring, but anyway. So, and if you're interested in what any of that looks like, I did do a video for my other channel, and my other channel on YouTube is called Decorating the Thrifty Way with Lisa Abbey. And so I had done a little bit of decorating my trees last year, but at the time I didn't think I could do more than 15-minute videos. And so it's really hard to do something like that when you don't know, for one, how to edit, or two, you only have that short of a time frame. You know what I mean? Because I found that I was talking like so fast. Anyway, the first videos are kind of poopy. But anyway, I'm kind of proud of the way Monday's video turned out. So if you're interested, head on over. Like I said, it's called Decorating the Thrifty Way with Lisa Abbey. And so my plan for that channel would be anything decorating or thrift store. Not to say that those things won't work their way into this channel also, but I know there's a lot of people that aren't interested in cross stitch, and they probably wouldn't want to sit through a flosstube recap to get to a few of the thrifty things. So anyway, I'm going to give it a try. We'll see how it goes. I'm not sure exactly how long I will keep it up, but we're going to start the year off strong. And I accidentally hit stop, and I had to learn to edit a little bit. And by edit, I just mean splice 2 videos together and call it done. That was all I did, but I was able to accomplish it. And so I have other little goals that I want to try to do. And so I've been watching tutorials. We'll see. Hopefully this will be the year that I can learn new things. Okay, so now we're on to gifts. So my dear friend Angela, it was funny. I got home from work yesterday and Larry's like, oh, I got the mail. Boy, there was a bunch of stuff in there. You must not have gotten mail in a while. I'm like, well, no, because the piles of snow by our mailbox are just ridiculous. So I thought, he's got 4-wheel drive. He can go through it. But anyway, my dear friend Angela sent me a little package. She had been able to go, she lives, anyway, she went to Wales, and she was able to go to a thrift store. And so she came across a huge amount of floss, some Anchor, I think it's mostly Anchor. But anyway, and so she sent me some of the colors, and it was fun just going through them last night. This is, I think, it's showing a little bit brighter than it really is. It's kind of more like that cup. But I'm thinking this is starting to become my favorite color. So that was fun. And so I'm excited to put those on floss drops and put them on my new display. I'm hoping I remember to turn the camera around here soon, and I'll show you. Larry hung up, put hooks on my display, so I've got my thread hung up, so that's kind of fun. I did have a progress on that. That was one night that we kind of worked on that, and I really didn't get a whole lot of stitching done after that, but that's okay. I felt really good about what we accomplished. And then I got another package from a dear friend, and she's Debbie on Instagram, and she sent me a little card, and I didn't ask if she was okay with me saying who. So if she ever decides that she wants people to know, I will put her in the drop down box. But she sent me some floss tags. This one has a little daisy on it with a little flower for a charm. Super cute. And then this one has bees on it with a little bee charm and a little bead. Anyway, super cute. See if I get my face out of the way, if it'll focus a little better. So she sent me some of those, and then she had a purchase that she had a duplicate of, and so she sent me Honeysuckle Manor by Blackbird Design. So anyway, she said if I wasn't interested in it, to offer it as a giveaway or whatever. So I looked through it a little bit last night, but honest to Pete, I was so excited about it, but it seemed like with each page, my eyes kept getting heavier and heavier. So I'm going to look through it again and see if I feel like I will make some stuff from it. There's a couple of cute samplers in there, so I'm pretty sure I will find something wonderful to make with that. And there was a bunch of little things which are kind of right up my alley. So, okay. And then I need a drink, but I also wanted to share my best friend had made a little cup for me, and she had handwritten on there, Lisa Abby's Needleworks on there. And so, here's to you, Loretta. So, gosh, when you talk so much, dries you out. Okay, so that pretty much sums up. And then one day I came in, it was like 3 or 4 in the morning, and I decided to come in and do some quilting. And so I did start my Tall Pines quilt by Lori Holt. And so I will share that here. It's still over there on my cutting table. So I'll have to grab that. And then while I'm up, I will go ahead and show you my thread display. So hold on. Okay, so this is this sign that I had someone at work make for me. This display that I have was one that I got from the free bin at work. Let me see if I can back up without breaking my neck. But anyway, it was a little display, I think, that showed music boxes or something. And so it has these little plastic I don't even know what the word would be, but anyway, they just slide in these grooves. And so temporarily I had a couple little stitching pin cushions on here. And then I decided I would hang my floss bling on this one side. But anyway, so the display already had this little sign up here, and so I took it in, and a girl from work, Jenna, she did such a wonderful job on it. She used her Cricut and made me a little sign for it, and so I'm so excited. So I was able to hang up my floss, and this is just a real rough draft of it. I haven't worked too much on it. I just tried to group the colors a little bit. And like, this is just my leftover floss. The majority of my floss is in my project bags and whatnot. But I just thought when things aren't in a project bag, I will have a place for them. So anyway, I'm very excited about how that turned out. And I just want to say thanks to Jenna. Okay, so that pretty much sums up my stitching and my cross stitch update. And so the rest of it, I thought I would share a little bit with you of some of my quilt UFOs that I've come across. I've been watching a few on my quilting channels that I like to watch. They've been doing like UFO busters and things like that about ways to try to set some goals and finish some things. And then you can get the scraps and stuff that you have all together for that project until you finish it. Then you can start to reallocate all those things. And anyway, my whole plan is to get some of these piles of things finished and up on my wall and ready to be used. So I thought maybe if I show them to you guys, maybe that will inspire me. And two, it was good to just get some of the things out, because it was funny, I was watching some of the people and I was like, goodness, how many UFOs could you really have? I don't think I have that many. And so anyway, I went down there, and honest, I know there's probably more things down there, but I just went through, you know, basically one pile of things, and I couldn't believe what I came up with. So, and I know 2 of the things I've talked about on this channel before, and the first one I think is probably like 3 years old. So it's time to get busy, right? So this is a quilt that I have. I guess I might have to stand up. Maybe not. So this is a quilt that I started. It's just an overall pattern. It's just a wall hanging size. Can you see it? Anyway, super pretty. Only thing I have, it's all hand quilted in the blocks. I just did cross hatching, and then I just did one. My one dog chewed on some of the batting, so there's some spots that don't have any batting in it, but I think it'll be okay. But anyway, I have just basically one border. I have half this way and half this way to do. It's like maybe, what, a 3-foot section that needs just quilted one way. So I know if I worked on this maybe on a Sunday, I could totally bust this out. So maybe that might be my goal for this Sunday. We'll see. I think this fabric line is a Three Sisters quilt line. I'll try to look it up and maybe link it in the bottom in the description box. But everybody knows I'm terrible about that and hardly ever remember to go back and do what I say I'm going to do. But now that I edit, maybe I will. Okay. And now that was just a pattern that I got from some magazine, some quilting magazine. I don't even remember if it was Quilt Maker or what. And I couldn't find it down there. So I think it's a butterscotch something. But that's as much as I could tell you. This one is a all through the night pattern. And so this was a kit that I purchased at the Pincushion Quilt Shop. And so this one, I have almost all of the appliques buttonholed, blanket stitched all the way around them. And this is kind of hard. I should have stood up, but if I do that, then I have to change my tripod all around. And there we go. I just need to get far enough away. So this bottom panel is the only one that really has some stitching left to do on it. I have to do some of the leaves to do the blanket stitch around. I think all of these have been done. There's an eye for the bunny, but it doesn't go on until after you've quilted it. So anyway, but the only thing that's really throwing me off on here is I made all these half square triangles, but I didn't square them up, which is an important step. So if it says to square them up, I started, but I was just taking off a fraction, and it just seemed like it was a big waste of time. Well, whenever you read that, take a note from me. It does matter, and so do it, because otherwise, when you get to intersections like this, you have a goofy mess. And like, it's really bad here. And I'm pretty sure I've talked about this on a different video, but anyway, it doesn't match up at all in any of the intersections. So, but there's no way I'm going to take all of these apart and square them up. It's just never. I would much rather just make another quilt than to do that. So either I'm going to, and I think I have a little doily here that had nothing to do with it. It was just leaning on the arm of this chair. But I thought either I'm just going to take a little bit of a doily and try to cover up that tiny little intersection there, or put on a yo-yo or something. Or heck, I might just square it up and not even care about it. We'll see. But this would be great for spring because spring is coming. So anyway, I need to, those are my two focuses that I really want to make some progress on. Because I don't think I'm that far. You know, once I get the blanket stitching done, then I can throw it on my handy quilter and I could have it quilted in, you know, maybe an hour or so, because I'm just going to do random stippling all over it, even I think over the applique and everything. And so it really wouldn't take very long. I just need to do it. So anyway, that was one of my processes that I was excited about. And then what did I do with those? Oh, here they are. When I talked about working on my tall pines quilt, these are the ones that I was able to make. I was able to make 2 blocks, and so I will put sashing in between, and I'm going to make a wall hanging. But this was a pattern that was a freebie on Lori Holt's channel. She does a nice tutorial of it. So it was fun. I just felt like I was sewing with her. But anyway, that was fun. So I need to cut out more blocks. I wasn't really sure if I was going to be real excited about it, because in the past, and you'll see in my pile here, that there's been quite a few things that I've started and I haven't finished. And so I thought, well, I'll at least do a block or two and see if I like the colors together, you know, make basically sample blocks. And so that's what I did. But I'm real excited about it. So now I just need to cut my fabric and get moving. Okay, I'm gonna have to move faster. This video is gonna take forever. You guys will all be sleeping. Okay, and so this one is just a finished top, and I just need to get it quilted. We had made some quilts. Christy from Crosshatch Quilts and I had decided we wanted to make a memorial quilt for Leanne from Lost and Floss. And so I've got mine made. I just never got around to having it quilted. So I need to get busy. I think this was a Jo Morton design from one of her books. So, and like I said, that would be something easy. I could just throw in my quilting machine and have it finished. So, need to get going. Then I have my little table runner that basically just needs quilted. I think there's like a couple leaves left to stitch around, but that's it. And then I forget what it was. I think it might have been something that Fat Quarter Shop was doing. But now I can't remember. It's been so long. But they were making blocks. And so my plan was to just make a sampler quilt with some of these blocks. And so I just kind of got started. I was planning on just doing taupes and blue and a little bit of cream. And I don't know what squirrel passed by, but I mean, some of these are really pretty, and I still have the pile of fabric all together. So I think I need to maybe look at some of Lori Holt's. I think they're 12-inch blocks. So I thought, well, she has a ton of options there. And I thought, well, I should, even if I just made a few more, I could easily make a wall hanging size. And so that's on the agenda. And then I was doing one of the Buttermilk Basin free quilt alongs. You could, if you had like 30 days to download the pattern, and then after that you had to pay for them. So these are all blanket stitched around. all ready to go. And it actually had some larger blocks in it too. But I decided to, I decided I wasn't going to make that whole wall hanging. And so I thought I would just make it into individual projects. So this was one that I made into just a little table topper. But isn't that cute with that tree? Oh. All right, and then I know I've shared this one before too. This one I had started hand quilting, and I think even some of it was done by my mom. Sorry, getting a call. So anyway, it's just churn dash blocks, and it was going to be a table runner for my table. And oh gosh, my nose is itching. So I just have a few, I think all the churn dash blocks are quilted, or most of them. I just have to do the cross hatching in the alternate blocks. So, and I think the whole reason for this is I had just had some orphan blocks left over from another quilt that I did, and I thought, oh, I should make a table runner. So now this one was a little charm pack that I had got somewhere, and I decided to do a pattern. I don't even remember what the pattern was called. I couldn't find it down there. But it's just, you know, a few of these big blocks put together. And I started to do some free motion quilting just with my sewing machine, and I didn't care for it. It seemed real, there wasn't a nice flow to it at all. And so I just got discouraged. And I know I'm not going to rip all that out, but I feel like I could just continue on and it'll be fine. But I thought that would be pretty. And while I was down there, I ran across some things that I had made some placemats because I got some new dishes, or new to me dishes. And so I decided to just make some placemats with just some random strips. And then, of course, I petered out and didn't finish it, but my mom stepped in and worked on some of them. Anyway, so all I need to do, they're already stitched, and even the opening is, we just stitched them, made like put the backing on it, stitched all the way around it, and turned it inside out. And so all that's done. All my plan was to do some decorative stitching in some of the ditches of the seams. And I thought it would be a fun way to use some of the fancy stitches on my sewing machine and just do it in some pretty blues or cream colored thread. Anyway, so let's see. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I have 6 of them already made, and they're just chilling out there. Nothing going on with them. Oh, I'll probably be in a bad way here soon because I'm sure my mom probably had that in her apartment with the cats. So, and I'm just touching my face. Anyway, and then when my mom she made me a quilt with these blocks. It's a full-size quilt that I have hung up in my bedroom. And so I just took some of the leftover blocks that she had, and I started doing some hand quilting on here. There's just nothing like hand quilting to me when you look at it. I mean, I think machine quilting is pretty, and I mean, it's just a means to an end because nobody has time to hand quilt anymore, I don't think, or not many people anyway. But boy, isn't that, it just makes me happy when I look at it. So, but I took the leftover blocks that she had and just, I took the leftover fabric and just put some borders around it, but I thought it would make a nice table topper. It's not huge. So, and I think my mom even did some of the quilting on this. She loved to quilt. I love to piece. So we were always a really good team that way. That, you know, I'd be happy to piece things. She liked to piece. She didn't like to pick fabric out. She never felt like she was good at it. And so, anyway, that part was a little bit stressful for her. So that wasn't her favorite. But I love to pick fabric. I love to pick colors and pretty much anything. So, that was my fun part. But then once I get it pieced, sometimes I can get started on the quilting really easily, but then after a while, when it takes a while to finish, sometimes I run out of steam. So, okay. So, anyway, as far as plans, if you guys are still awake out there, I'm still going to try to do my shepherd song stitching on Monday. So if anybody is doing shepherd song by Plum Street, you're welcome to join in with me. I don't have a hashtag, but I might put that on my goal list to try to figure that out today. And then if anybody is stitching Summer at Hollyberry Farms, I'm going to be doing that on Wednesdays. So feel free to join in. That would be great. I can't believe yesterday was the 25th, and I was so excited about stitching with Lori Holt for her 25, Christmas 25 stitching or whatever. I forget what the hashtag is, but here it happened yesterday and I missed it. Shucks. So somebody has to remind me on the 25th in the morning that today's the day, ding dong, don't miss it. So, but anyway, there's always going to be next month, right? I thought about saying, oh, I could have just said that thistle thing was my stitching. I could just pretend that I worked on it that day. And I thought, now there's no sense to fib about flosstube. So, and then I got real excited about doing another quilt. And mainly because Jeanette from Crafty Cottage Stitches was talking about hers. She's going to be doing Farm Sweet Farm, I think is the name of the quilt by Lori Holt. And so she's got her fabric and she's got it all cut up. She said it took her like 4 days to cut all the pieces. And so this is what the quilt looks like. And so she's going to do it in traditional, traditional Lori Holt fabric. And although I love the look of that, and I think it's just so pretty, it just doesn't necessarily go in my color scheme of my house. And so I had bought the Simple Shapes as soon as they came out, actually. I was planning on stitching it along with them on her quilt along. But then I couldn't make decisions. And so, like everything else, then it was a little bit far into the process. And anyway, I talked myself out of it. But I had gone and purchased some fabric. Now, to me, there's nothing like an old white or like off-white barn. To me, that's probably my favorite color of barn. But then I love the faded look of red. And so I ran across this fabric that's actually supposed to be like barnwood, I think. And I also had this, which is, anyway, I thought, oh, I could make my barn. I could just do like a bluish sky or something for the background and do a white barn. Or I could do a brown barn. I thought this fabric was really pretty. And so I'm going to work with it And hopefully I can get some stuff done so that I'm not too far behind Jeanette. But anyway, so she'll do one with like, you know, the traditional Lori Holt colors. And then I thought I could do more of a prim version and see what we come up with. And so maybe that would motivate me to get my butt off of the couch and get it busy. So we'll see. I don't know though. She's already got hers cut, but I'm not going to be doing the whole thing. I want to do the section that has the barn and the windmill and the trees. And then I want to do one section below that has the tractor with some of the corn stalks. And then I want to do some sheep and the chickens. But I don't think I'm going to do the people or the cow or the goat or the pig. I just want a few little critters around. So anyway, so mine will be a little bit different that way. So it'll be a lot smaller. So not as many quilted pieced blocks to do. But anyway, I think it would be super cute. And I think I could put it behind my TV in my living room or even have it here in my sewing room. We'll see. But so anyway, so that's part of my future plans. We'll see how I do. I think I'm going to try to focus on certain days to be certain things again, because doing that Monday and Wednesday has really helped me out. I don't want to be so stuck to it that I can't change my mind, but sometimes it takes me so long to make a decision. By then I'm tired and I don't do anything. So anyway. So I hope some of my quilt projects kind of maybe motivated you to go check out your stash if you're a quilter and see if there's anything you want to try to set a goal for and maybe finish. If you're interested in decorating and you want to get some inspiration on how to move some of your stuff around, because that's mainly what I did. I just took stuff that I had in other areas of my house and moved it around, and it kind of felt like I had new stuff. So I just had to talk to myself and tell myself not to go to the thrift store. So if you're interested in that kind of stuff and you want to check out my other video, I'd appreciate it. Like I said, it was decorating the thrifty way with Lisa Abbey. Shameless plug. And anyway, if you want to follow me on Instagram, my name is Lisa Abbey 9137. And so if you want to follow me there, it's easy to send pictures during the direct message and whatnot, and so I can see what you're working on. That always encourages me. And anyway, I hope everybody is having fun creating, and I hope you have a great week. I'm hoping to come back in another week, but if not, maybe two. But you guys take care and be kind. Bye.